Hey guys!
Hey everyone!
Welcome back to another video. We are actually coming to you from Aruba right now.
Yes.
So we actually, this video will be a little behind, but we came down to Aruba like 4 days after Christmas, so we celebrated the New Year here. So we're actually down with Will's family, and we'll definitely have vlogs coming out, probably a couple of our trip to Aruba. We were here less than a year ago, and Will's parents came after we did. They loved it, and so now they wanted to bring the whole family down for a trip. So we've been enjoying the warm weather and kind of escaping. It's snowing in Maryland
This
today.
is to get like, what, around 8 to 12 inches of snow today, so we're glad we're missing that.
Right. But the whole point of today's video is we want to actually explain to you guys more why we decided to buy an Alliance RV. So if you haven't seen our video of what fifth wheel we bought, we'll have that linked up there. We did buy a 2022 Alliance Avenue 32 RLS. So far we love it.
Yes.
We're going to be using it a lot more once we get back to the States in a few days. But yeah, we wanted to make a video because we explained a little bit. You guys might know if you watch like our channel, watch Towables. Like Will's always been a big fan of Alliance. I love Alliance. But we don't get a chance to really go into the details as much of why.
Right.
And so we thought this was a perfect video to kind of explain why we like it and why we decided to buy an Alliance Avenue. And then also we did go to the Alliance factory, what was it, like back when we were in Elkhart, Indiana.
November, yeah.
So when we were out visiting Lippert, we stopped by Alliance and we got a tour of some of their facilities there to see how they build like some of the sidewalls and stuff like that. And so we're going to put some of that footage in this video so you guys can kind of see what we're talking about. But without further ado, let's jump into the reasons why we bought an Alliance Avenue.
Real quick, before I jump into like the first main reason that we went with Alliance, two quick things. I wanted to let everybody know, you may be wondering why you're seeing this video today. We are trying to push to do 2 videos a week now and just bring you guys more content. So our Sunday vlogs are always going to be there. That's the priority. We'll make sure that they're there. But we're also going to be trying to work in a second video, maybe a little more educational, probably not a vlog, but you know, just talking like this more. And so hopefully we can make sure to knock those out every week as well. Yeah. Second thing is, before we lead into everything, I did want to give a quick reminder that we did purchase this Alliance Avenue, you know, with our own money, well, with the loan, but it wasn't like one of those where it's like, hey, here's a free Alliance, now go talk great about it, which does happen from time to time with products. You know, we'll always be honest with you and say, you know, this was given to us by so-and-so. But no, this was a real purchase for us. This was the unit that we wanted, the unit we decided on. And of course, you know, we got discounts just like everybody does. We didn't pay MSRP, but it wasn't like, oh, here, pay a couple dollars and, you know, say you bought it. Like, no, we paid tens of thousands of dollars, just as many of you will.
Yeah, like if you guys didn't see on Matt's RV Reviews Towables, we had a whole video showing you guys our like shopping process because we really were like comparing other fifth wheels. We looked at a Jayco Eagle, a Grand Design Reflection,
Keystone
Arcadia, and they all had like things we like, pros and cons to all of them.
Yes.
And so if you haven't seen that video, we'll also link that down below so you can kind of see like how we what our decision making process was and what things we liked and didn't like and everything. So I just wanted to share that. If you guys haven't seen that video, I'll link that down below.
For sure, yep. So to jump right into it, one of the main reasons that we chose Alliance was just really our history with Alliance. So you guys probably know that Jen and I were both salespeople before we branched off, and we sold a lot of Alliances because it was just a product that we felt like was really good quality and that we were really passionate about. That's how we made friends with many of the owners and GMs at Alliance, was just through, you know, sales and talking to them and giving them feedback about their product. We worked our way up, you know, sold so many. We ended up being one of the #1 salespeople for Alliance, you know, nationwide.
Yeah, so what's funny is I remember when Alliance like first like hit the market, and we were working for Leo's Vacation Center in Maryland, and we were working like I think it was the February Maryland RV show, and so the Alliance Paradigm was there, which was their first like big fifth wheel that they made, like full profile fifth wheel. And when we saw it, we were just like in awe of like how nice it was inside. Like the interior is beautiful, the quality was amazing. And so Will and I decided before that, like right before that show started, that our strategy, instead of like walking around to a bunch of different units, is like we're just gonna sit in the Paradigm because it's nice to sit in there because it's so pretty. And when people come in, like, and also we'll just really familiarize ourselves with the Paradigm. Right. And so when people come in, like, we're a little bit more knowledgeable. We can kind of just sit and talk with them, and we're not like walking up. It's always awkward as a salesperson, like walking up to people in the aisles. It's like
we were just kind of sitting more to give information as people needed it. Really.
And we did really well at that show because we just focused on that one unit, and we really got to know the quality, and we met some of the reps and one of the owners of Alliance because they were there like representing the product because it was new to the market. And what's funny is we actually, like, people probably think that we like met them through Matt's RV Reviews because obviously Matt's RV Reviews has a bigger presence on YouTube than we do.
It was actually kind of the opposite.
It was opposite. Like, we actually had a really good relationship with them because we were selling so many, and then we kind of like got them connected with the Matt's RV Reviews channel and everything. So it was kind of a funny story. Usually it's opposite, but yeah. So we've had a good connection with the people at Alliance for a while now. Okay, so the next big reason that we really love Alliance is just their focus on customer service and also customer feedback. So the cool thing is Alliance has a Facebook group. What is it called? Like
Alliance RV Group.
Alliance RV Group. We'll put links to all the stuff that we're talking about down below. So if you're interested, and then also I think there's a group once you buy an Alliance, right?
Alliance RV owners, and there's several like ownership groups.
Yeah, like for most brands have groups like that. But what's really cool is Alliance is very involved in their group, and they use it as a tool to collect customer feedback, especially like on units that they haven't finalized yet.
Right.
So what they'll do a lot of times is like they'll have like a floor plan that they're still kind of like working with, trying to finalize, and they'll share it in that Facebook group to get feedback on like what people like and don't like before they finalize it. And when I saw that, I just thought that was such a cool concept to like get people in like before you just finish it and like, hey, here's the product.
Here's what it is, take it or leave it.
Yeah, like they really wanted to like perfect it to what people were wanting. So yeah, customer feedback is really strong, and then also like customer service. Like, I don't think I've ever experienced a manufacturer just so willing to step in and take care of their customers and do the right thing. And there's been times like we've worked with customers before where, you know, maybe they have an issue with their unit. Like that's the thing. Any manufacturer, you're going to have service things that you have to get fixed.
We've even talked to like the guy, like the one of the reps we talked to with on the Prevost chassis and everything, and that's like one of the first things they bring up is service. You know, even at $2-3 million, it still needs service. So
and that's the key, guys. Like, every RV is going to need service, so you can't go in with the mindset of like, I want something that I'm never going to have to go like have things that need to be fixed. Like, that's always going to happen. It's a home going through a hurricane, essentially going down the road. It's inevitable. So the key is working with dealerships and manufacturers who are going to be there to take care of you and jump in, and that's what we've really experienced with Alliance.
Absolutely. Not just from us personally, but we've experienced it with like customers having issues and seeing how Alliance handles that process and those issues. It was just eye-opening to us. I
mean, we've seen Alliance lose money on deals just to take care of the customer and do the right thing.
Absolutely,
and I think that really speaks volumes, and that's, I think, one of the key things you want to look for when you're buying an RV. Also at the dealership level, like just working with companies that want to do the right thing and take care of their customers, even if they might lose a little bit on that deal, to do the right thing. And so that's just the customer-driven like mindset. With Alliance is another big reason why we went with them.
Yeah, and Matt's always shared the story, like there's so many, not a specific story, but there's so many of our customers who it's like they work their whole life to get to this point where it's like they hit retirement, they've saved, or shortly before, and they saved up enough money to be able to afford an RV. And it's just, you know, for Alliance and all these other manufacturers, especially the bigger ones, I mean, they're pumping out so many of these a day.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's just a number. But at the end of the day, for those people who work their whole life to save up and to be able to buy one, that's like their whole dream. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's like their life goal. And so, you know, to lose a little bit here to make their dream a reality and much more fun, it's just so worth it. And it just speaks volume for how they operate their business.
Yeah. And like on that note, a simple thing that Alliance does that just I think is like reflects that customer-driven mindset is they will actually, every unit they build, they print out a paper with the name of the family buying it. So if it's not going to be dealer stock and it's like someone who's actually ordered this unit, they will print out like the Knowles family, and every person that works on that unit at Alliance will sign it.
Yeah.
And it's just, you know, and when we were at the factory tour, they were kind of talking about like why they did it is just so every person that's touching that RV, that's working on that RV, is thinking about like the end user. It's not just an RV. It's not just it's not just number 8 like Alliance Avenue we're building. Like, this is for this family. They're going to be using this and living in it, making memories in it. And so it's just keeping that top of mind with that's like the culture there, you know?
Yeah, every employee. I mean, they have almost 500 employees, I think they said. So, you know, keeping that top of mind for every employee. You know, of course, the people at the top can have the customer in mind as well, but you know, the people actually working on it, it's important for them to as well. So I think that's awesome that they do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so another reason that we really picked Alliance was just the overall quality, right? So we talked a lot about service, which is important. Things still will break no matter how good the quality is, but it is still very nice and very important to have good quality. And we really, really felt like that's where Alliance took the notch above the other units that we were looking at. So a lot of people were guessing that we would pick the Grand Design, and they are pretty comparable, right? They're in competition with each other, no doubt about it. And these next couple of points, I think, are gonna really identify for us why we went with Alliance, to just kind of help provide some clarity there. So first is one of the most important for me was the running gear. So they have what they call the performance running gear, and that has a list of a couple things, and these were all like huge deciding factors for me. Okay, so first up is the heavy duty 3.5K spring. So it's gonna give you a better ride, and it's gonna make things smoother on the inside, less bouncing around. The next is probably what I found the most important, is the Super F rated 10-ply tires, which are rated at 3,960 pounds, so 3,960 pounds. So we have Castle Rocks on ours, and some people like made the comment like, oh, Castle Rocks, they suck, right? And the thing about Castle Rocks is they kind of got they're not a bad tire, but they kind of got a bad name because manufacturers were putting underrated tires on them. Now, when Alliance, they actually told me this, that when they went to Goodyear, the Goodyear tires, they couldn't get as good as the tires that they were putting on the Alliance, so they had to go to another brand. And what they found was that the Castle Rocks, like they put on ours, are a better build and better quality. It's just not the name of the others. And Castle Rock had a bad name just because manufacturers were saving a dime by putting underrated tires on, and they were blowing, and a lot of times they would use Castle Rocks. Of course, the MoRide Series 3000 is up next, and that's really helps smooth that ride out and just make it a lot better for the stuff inside the RV and for you towing as well to get, you know, a smoother ride. Another thing is that they're using a 10-inch I-beam with a 2-inch torsion tube. So what that's doing is you have your I-beam going across, which is a little bit smaller than the competition, but that 2-inch torsion tube that goes on top of that is actually helping to spread the weight of that initial kind of impact right where it connects to the chassis. So I think that's huge, stretching that pressure out throughout further down into the chassis. So I really like how they did that a lot. And then the last in that package is the MoRide wet bolts and wet shackles, and they're heavy duty. That is huge because there have been too many times when I've talked to customers, even on higher end units, that have said that their shackles and wet bolts broke. And that's gonna make it basically impossible for you to get it around, to move it from place to place. And that's a pretty big thing, not just like swap out the tire and back on the road. You know, that's gonna end up having to go into the shop for a little bit. And I really, really like how they upgraded those, not only on the Paradigm, but also on the Avenue, which I was not expecting, honestly.
Yeah, for reference, guys, so the Paradigm is Alliance's like full profile fifth wheel. That's the first one they came out with. And we have the Avenue, which is like their mid-profile fifth wheel, which we chose Avenue partially because of price point, weight and everything, just based on the truck that we wanted to have and all that.
Yes. Another thing is the Whisper Quiet AC and that whole AC system. So honestly, we were a little bit skeptical of the AC systems because what they do is they do unducted, so it's only in dump mode, and then they did 2 standard in the Avenue. And it was kind of a little bit risky, I think, because everybody in the market has been saying, oh, Whisper Quiet's the way to go, Whisper Quiet inducted. Well, they are Whisper Quiet. Many people think that they're not just because they're not ducted. but it is whisper quiet, and I think that we can all attest that it's very, very quiet. And we kind of fact checked them when we went to Furrion one time. So Furrion is a huge, just like group of engineers, and they were recently bought by Lippert. So we were talking with a couple of the engineers, and they were like, yeah, we don't understand why more manufacturers aren't doing this AC system, because it's so much smarter, and they were explaining, I won't bore you with it all, but they were explaining all the mechanics of how the AC systems work and the hot parts and the cool parts of the RV. And once we got that explanation, it was like, yeah, it just makes so much more sense how they're doing this AC system.
Yeah, like I'm not going to go into like full detail, but like just if you think about it, like they're in an RV, you're working with really like short ducts.
Yes.
And then also, from what they're telling us, a lot of times they're making 90-degree turns.
Yeah.
So they're way less efficient than ducting you'd have in a house.
Right.
So whereas you think like, oh, ducting, it works great in a house, it doesn't. It's not set up the same as it in an RV as it is in a house, and so it's not nearly as efficient. And we, like Will said, we've used AC several times, and I'm amazed because in our last fifth wheel, which was a Cougar, Keystone Cougar, which it's a few years older, and I think like these new quiet AC systems may have not even been out then, or they probably weren't doing them for like mid-profile fifth wheels. But if you had the AC on, don't think about watching TV, listen to the radio, or like barely having conversations because it was loud. And it was frustrating being in there when you needed the AC running, like it's really hot, because it's like you just like all those things that you can't really do.
Right.
And in this one, it was just like 180 difference. Like it's so quiet, but then like it really cools off fast.
Oh, it does.
And we have one in the living room, one in the bedroom.
Yep.
Which it comes standard with both, right?
It does.
Okay.
Yes.
So I like that. So like sometimes they'll option it with one. So it comes standard with one in the bedroom, and they're great. They work great.
They work great. I think so too. Okay, and another thing that I think more that we've just like noticed going in and out of them is just that true attention to detail when being built. You go in, and of course, when units come in after transport and everything, there's always little pieces of trim and things that fall off here and there. But that's after 1,000 miles or 500 miles or more. So it's not uncommon to see that, especially on that kind of first run going down the road. But their attention to detail that we have found is very superior to a lot of the competition. It's just all the little things you don't want to have to worry about. They're, kind of taking care of them right there. They're doing quality control like 3 or 4 times throughout the process. And, I just think that that's awesome. Again, most of the QC stuff is little. Sometimes they are big, but it's just those little headaches. And again, I don't want to give the impression that when your unit comes in from the factory, it's not going to have issues, because it does need that. The transport driver is kind of doing that first tough run shakedown.
Yeah.
So, there's always going to be a few little things, but they do their best. They run it down the road in Indiana too, which nobody else does in the industry.
So one specific thing too that we saw when we were out visiting the Alliance factory is they did a detailed walkthrough of their lamination plant, which is where they make all of their sidewalls, which, by the way, already the fact that they use Asdale or Asdale, we always pronounce it wrong, but we're big fans of Asdale because they've never had a case of delamination, so it's much better than Luon, which is a traditional glue that's holding the sidewall on. And it's more likely, if you do get a water leak, it's more likely to have lamination on the side.
Delamination.
Or delamination, yes. But with the Asdale, you don't have to worry about that problem. So that right there we love. But then also just their attention to detail when they're making these sidewalls. Like, really throughout the whole build process, there are pieces of it where I was just amazed because normally manufacturers are their goal. The
as
more
quick as they can get it out.
Yeah, the more they can crank out a day, the better they are. But there was parts of the process, like with the sidewall lamination, where they let things sit, like, and cure longer than most of the manufacturers are doing, just to be double sure that it's that curing process is complete and it's going to be the best for the customer. And so they're dragging out their process a little bit, which means less RVs being pumped out every day, but just to ensure that that's going to be the best possible for the customer.
Right. So
the next thing, which I'm really passionate about, is just the interior. So not only is it beautiful, but it also really functional, really well thought out. So obviously first, like, one of the biggest things with the Avenue that stood out to me compared to the competitors was the light and bright interior.
Yes.
And that's a big thing for me because an RV is a small space, and so the lighter it can be, the more light is bouncing around, and it makes it feel bigger.
Right.
You know, and Will and I are going to be spending, we probably will be full-timing, but we'll be spending a lot of time in the RV. So it's important that it feels comfortable to be in, and
Right.
it feels like open and everything, and not like all
Right.
closed in. So our friend Ab at Alliance, who is the general manager, and he really led the build of the Alliance Avenue. I think he did a phenomenal job making that look beautiful inside. And to me, that was my favorite interior out of all the different fifth wheels we looked at. So that was a big thing. But then also the build of it, like I love the kitchen and the Avenue. I think that they were really intentional. It is the rear living kind of floor plan. It's pretty standard. Like we you know, there wasn't any big differences in the floor plans between the different fifth wheels we looked at, and it's actually very similar to the Cougar that we had before. But they did do a couple little details different. I like how the pantry is over in that kind of like side, like coffee taco bar area, because then what you do is you get all this countertop space to the left and right of the stove, which for me is more important because that's where I'm gonna have like a cutting board or something, and I want space to work around the stove. And I don't need as much space over near like the coffee bar area.
Exactly.
So the kitchen was like a big selling point for me, and then also just I like how they tried to make aspects of it like versatile. So we always say this on Matt's RV reviews, like the more space in an RV is like flexible. So sometimes, like for example, like if a bunk room can also be an office, you know, that's like the more flexible a space can be, the better. And I really like how the dinette in ours, you can pull the bottom part of the dinette seat out, and it becomes an ottoman, and it has storage inside. And in our Cougar, for example, we had 4 chairs there, and you know, I think that this is just like you get that extra storage space. I actually prefer having more of a booth than chairs because it's just a little bit more comfortable to sit in. And so, and then, you know, so that's the Avenue. And I know in the Paradigm, there's other things, like just across the board with Alliance, they really try to like the storage behind the fireplace in the Paradigm. You know, they really try to maximize storage, make space flexible. So the whole design of our Avenue is really well thought out, and that's why I loved it so much.
Yeah. Okay, and to wrap it all up, we just wanted to end with just the people at the company and Alliance. So we're happy and we're proud to call a lot of the owners and the managers and everything at Alliance friends. Ryan and Coley Brady have always been there to support us with everything that we do. They've always been there to help with anything that we needed. And, you know, we just enjoy hanging out with them, going to dinner. But more importantly, again, they just have that that right business mindset, in our opinion. You know, they're always going to make sure that the customer is taken care of, and even further than that, they're making sure that their employees are taken care of really well as well. So we just really love their whole business model. We love who they are as people, and I think that's really going to help them grow and expand their business. And we're proud to see where they've come so far, and you know, we really can't wait to see what the future has for them too.
Yeah, just overall great company, great people there. Every time at a show that we get to like meet up with, because a lot of times they'll come down for the show. I love it because, you know, it is a smaller manufacturer, but I love how like at the Hershey RV show, like most of the owners were there. You know, at the show.
Owners were at the show.
Yeah, owners are at the show. Like that never happens usually. You know, they're there at the show talking with customers, answering questions, supporting the salespeople. And we always love getting to see them there because they're just the nicest people.
They are.
We love collaborating with them, and we're just excited to be part of also the Alliance community because, you know, a lot of people that have alliances are like, I feel like it's kind of like Grand Design. Like people are passionate about their alliance. They're called allies, I think. And so we're just excited to be part of that community now, which we've sold quite a few alliances. So we already like have friends that have alliances, and we're excited to also like be in the allies group now. And hopefully our plan is to hopefully go to some alliance rallies this year.
We'll be
at least
the rally.
one.
Yeah.
When is that rally again?
May, I think.
Yeah.
End of May.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that as it gets closer, but I think it's actually falling right after the Matt's RV Reviews
is,
rally, so
yeah.
we're gonna have to jet from like Nashville up to Elkhart.
Right.
But that's gonna be so much fun. Just excited to be part of the community, and I'm so happy we're at their avenue.
Yes,
and
me
just so
too.
excited to start using it even more. So that about wraps up this video. Hopefully we clarified why we chose Alliance, why we chose the Avenue compared to some of those other ones. And one, I guess, last note is, like, this is just our opinion, guys.
Right.
You know, there is no perfect RV because everyone has different needs and wants. So those other fifth wheels we looked at, maybe those work better for you based on what you like and what your needs are. So this isn't the end all be all. This is just our opinion and what we like, and just wanted to kind of share more of that decision with you, why we chose it. But thank you guys so much for watching. We're got to bring you to Aruba. If you're living in a winter climate, hopefully you got to escape a little bit in this video. And I think we're about to head to the beach, actually.
Cool.
And also, as Will mentioned, we're going to be trying to do a Sunday and Wednesday videos going forward, with Wednesday being more videos like this, or maybe like showing you some of our favorite RV accessories, more educational, informative stuff. So if you guys like this video, please like it and leave down in the comments. Tell us if you enjoyed it, so we know to keep kind of making content like this. And I think this isn't the first video of the new year, but I don't think we included anything in the vlog. So we just want to say Happy New Year.
Yeah.
I hope everyone had a great holiday with their family. So
yeah, it was crazy here. We were here in Aruba on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, and everywhere you look on the island, they have fireworks. It was crazy. So.
I thought we liked fireworks in the U.S., but it's like on another level.
It really is here.
They're still every night. They're still
doing fireworks.
What's today? Today is January 3rd, and like yesterday, they're still lighting fireworks at night. So we'll probably have it the whole time here. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you this coming Sunday for another vlog episode.
See ya.
Bye, guys.